everybody, and welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, I am Tired Mama, also known as Sam or Samantha. I have a lot of new content that's different than what I used to post. I used to post a lot about working from home. Now, due to life changes, I'm on a weight loss journey, and I started in mid-August. Today is September the 23rd, and I have officially lost. I started at 360. This morning I was 319.2. So a little over 40 pounds. Super excited to keep going. 19 pounds and I'll be out of 300. So I hope that you stick around. Lots of fun stuff going on here. But today's video isn't about weight loss or working from home. Today's video is about you. And you will get as much out of this video if you completely turn your phone upside down and don't look at it. Just listen to what I'm saying. Okay? So last week I mentioned this video and I said that I would like for you to pick 3 words that define who you are. Now, if you haven't done this or you need a moment, pause the video, and then when you have your 3 words that define who you are, come back and finish the video then. It's important that you have this prepared. Ready? Okay. So, when you ask someone, who are you? The reason for doing this is because you're asking them to define themselves. And it is important that you define yourself. I'm going to be looking down here because I have some really great quotes and mental notes that I've made this week. It's important that you understand that you don't accept the definition that someone else gives you. You have to add definition to your life, and you have to essentially define who you are. Your actions define who you are, and what you love is a true definition of who you are. Define yourself in your life. Don't let other people do it for you, or you accept their definition of you. What do you mean? Very simple. Let's look at life as a matter of who I am physically. The very first thing that people see when they look at me is I'm overweight. I'm white. I have curly hair, curly, messy hair. If I live by that definition, that means that the number one thing in my life is being overweight. And that's not true. Those are physical characteristics. That doesn't define who I am. Being white just says the color of my skin. It doesn't define who I am. If someone looks at me and they say, she's a mother, that's a great definition of who I am. Because that's looking at my actions and what I love and the biggest part of my life. If someone looks at me and they say, she's a Christian, that is a big part of me because that describes how I act and how I respect other people and how I love other people and how I help people and what I believe in. She's a wife. Yes, I'm happily married to my husband now for almost 9 years. We are a great team. That is a huge part of my life. I am a sister. I am a volunteer. I am a daughter, a neighbor, a friend. I am on YouTube. But that's my job. That doesn't define me. And you can't say, well, I'm Samantha. That's who I am. No. Who are you? Now, it's important that you pick the words that describe you and define you. And you should really take time to do this so that you have a clear definition of who you are. Because when you do this, the number one thing that you are gets the most of yourself. Let me give you my 3 words. So, before all things and everything else, I am a Christian. Okay? That means that the biggest part of my life is my faith. And that's very true. Okay? So, number 1, I am a Christian. No doubt. And I don't have to feel that I walk around saying, oh, I'm a Christian, I'm a Christian, I'm a Christian. I feel like people who know me and spend any time with me will see from my actions how I treat people, what I do for others, and how I love everyone. And they will be able to see that I'm trying to be a light for my faith. Okay? Number 2, I am a mother. My kids are my life. Okay? That's my number 2. Our faith is supposed to come first, our children, and then number 3, I'm a wife. So that means that Christian, mother, wife. Christian is number 1. That means that the most of my heart, the most defining part about me is my faith. If you say, I'm a mother, I'm a wife, I'm a heart, I'm a mother, I'm a wife, I am creative. So that means the most of your time, the most of your heart, the most of your soul, the most of what you give to the world is about being a mother, and then about being a wife, and then about being a creative person. Okay? Whatever you pick for your number 1 word, that is what is going to get the most of you. That is what defines you the most. You can't just go through life without knowing who you are or what you stand for. And some people can be wishy-washy, but you really have to take some time to define who you want to be. If you want to be a more present mother, then you have to make being a mother more important than everything else in your life. Maybe you want to be a better father, a better husband, a better daughter, whatever the case may be. You have to make steps in your life to move those items up on your priority list. Okay? Now, here's the biggest challenge in all of this. Every single one of us have a preconceived notion of who we are. Okay? Many times that notion is wrong. And we have to step over hurdles to truly accept that our notions are sometimes wrong. A lot of people will feel like I'm not a good mother. Not me personally, like they feel like that about themselves. Maybe I'm not a good mother, maybe I'm not a good wife, but in reality they are. Or maybe we feel like we're defined by our weight, or our job, or our financial status. Maybe we feel defined by, let's say you look like Trisha Paytas. Maybe you feel defined by that, okay? But you have to come up with yourself. You have to step out of that box. And that can be confusing if you don't have like self-image issues. But a lot of us, people who are my size, people who have gone through like eating disorders, feel like they're trapped in this box. Like even after they lose the weight, they're always going to be too big. You know, I think Shane Dawson has talked about this at length. You know, that body dysmorphia. You feel like the world still sees you as this extremely big person, and you're not. People with bulimia feel like they're extremely overweight, and they're obviously not. But this comes back to the idea of looking at yourself introspectively and seeing what defines you. Then making sure that what you think defines you is true. If it's not, then you have to figure out the steps that you need to take to get your definitions and your truth in order. I hope this makes sense to you. This is a video that I really enjoyed putting together. I enjoy helping people become more self-actualized, to realize where they should be in life, to coach people in those ideas. And I may be doing more of these. But for now, if you're struggling with this, I want you to do 3 things. Number 1, come up with your 3 words that define who you want to be. Okay, who you want to be. And don't say, I want to be rich, I want to be famous. That has nothing to do with this. Okay? Who you are doesn't come from what you have in the bank or how many people know your name. Who you are comes from your actions and your love. So, if you say, I want to be a great mother, I want to be a better wife or a husband, I want to be a better volunteer. Maybe you're a person of faith and you want to insert your faith here. I want to be a better, in my case, a better Christian. I want to be a better whichever. This isn't just for Christians. This is for everyone. You should be able to look at your life and say, I want to be these 3 things. I am these 3 things. How do I get there? How do I get my priorities in line? Tim Minchin said something very, very smart. I love this quote, and it says, you define yourself by what you love. So what do you love? Let's go back to the 3 things to do. Number 1, figure out what you want to be. Number 2, figure out what you are. And number 3, what priorities do you need to change to make those lists match? That's one step closer to being able to truly define who you are and who you want to be. You can't grow as a person if you don't know where you're growing to. Okay? Remember 3 things above all else. If you can't tell, I like the rules of 3s. Number 1, you are worth the time and energy that it takes to lose weight or grow in your life. Number 2, your life is worth the effort that it takes to grow. Not just physically, not just muscularly, emotionally. And number 3, you are loved. Until next time, guys. Bye.